Hi, my name's Alex Kate, and it's a couple days before Halloween, and oh my goodness, you don't know what you're going to do yet. Well, I'm here to help. I'm here to show you how to do a throat slice special effect that looks really, really authentic, inspired by this season's American Horror Story Hotel. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some yarn and scissors. You're going to need, of course, some liquid latex, some spirit gum remover for later, and a little bit of makeup and a lot of blood. So first of all, what I've already done, I've already cut my yarn. You just hold it up your neck to measure it, and the two pieces, one needs to be just a little bit longer than the other. This one is just a hair longer than the other. So the shorter one is going to be on top, the longer one is going to be on the bottom. So first you're going to take your liquid latex, and since I've already measured it, let me use this right here, I know how much I need. So take your liquid latex and just dab some across your neck. You want to move a little bit quickly. Like so. And then you want to take your, it's very sticky, so you want to take your first yarn, your shorter piece, place it across your neck like so, and stretch it out. Don't worry if the ends aren't perfectly laid down or not, because we're going to be using some more latex. We're just placing it right now. And you take your longer piece, go just a little bit under, not connect it, but you want to connect the ends. So you want to leave a little bit of a space, almost like a little kind of smile underneath there. So you have a little gap between the two, and then the ends are joined. And then you want to take more of your liquid latex, and you want to cover the entire thing. Now, you can also use a brush, which I actually left in the other room, so it's a little bit easier, but you want to cover the whole thing with the liquid latex. Be very generous with it. And then once this is completely covered, and you want to go a little bit beyond the yarn. You want to go around it, in between it, all over. Once that's done, you want it to dry before you take it off, because you're going to be taking it off. This is actually going to be a prosthetic piece that you can use over and over again. So to speed things up, just get a hair dryer and just dry it. And then once it's good and dry, we're going to take it off and make an opening in the middle. Latex dries pretty quickly anyway, this just speeds it up even more. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, and the gorier and the scarier the better. You feel that? Alrighty, I think that should be good enough. Let's see how I did. So hopefully, it should all come off in one piece. So on the side. There we go. So you get a little bit of the corner of it. And then just carefully pull it all the way up. Like so. There you go. So what we're going to do now is We're going to cut the center out a little bit where the latex was. I actually could have used probably a little bit more latex, but this is going to work just fine. So cut the center pieces out. Like so. And this is the beginning of your wound. So once that's good and dry, we're going to say, the nice part about this is you can do it in advance. Like you could do it tomorrow or something like that and have it ready for you for Saturday. Because Halloween is on a Saturday this year. So you're going to take a very generous portion of spirit gum to lay it down. The spirit gum you really want has to dry just a little bit. It has to get right now it's going on wet, but you don't want to put anything on it until it's a little bit tacky, because it won't stay. Whatever you're applying doesn't stay as long as the spirit gum is wet. It doesn't necessarily take a lot of spirit gum, but you do want to cover all the skin. All right. So I'm just going to let this dry for a little bit. It's going to be fun because Saturday, before I go to work, I'm a karaoke host. So I'll be having a Halloween party out in Santa Monica at the Speakeasy. If you're a local and want to make it out, it'd be great to see you. But before that, I'm going to be a murdered victim on the front lawn and scare the kids that come trick-or-treating. They'll either have to walk over me or past me. So that's what Halloween's all about anyway, isn't it? So let's see. Yeah, so that feels tacky, not wet. So I'm going to take this short one first and put it back on. Raise this up a little bit. There we go. You can squeeze the ends a little bit together. So now you have the beginning of your scar. So now we get to make it up. Now this right here is Ben Nye FX Wheel Master Bruise. If you can't get a hold of any theatrical makeup, just go to the store and get some cheap makeup. But what you want to do is you want to start with the darkest colors you can find and work your way up to reds. So what I'm going to do, because theatrical blood, once it dries, if you're going to a party, it's going to look very faded a lot of times. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start with a dark blue color, and I'm just going to paint the inside of the wound. So that way it'll always have this purple look throughout the entire night if you're going to a party or out bar hopping or whatever it is you're doing. So just lay that in, let it cover pretty well. And then I'm going to go to the next lighter color, which is more of a purplish. And I'm going to do the outside, just right on top of the yarn. So what you're creating sort of a bruising effect from being sliced open. So I'm just going to cover that. And this takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Okay, so I'm going to finish this and I'll be right back.
Go.
Okay, so now we've got the purple on top of the yarn. So now I'm going to go to the next color. I'm going to go to a red. more of a red. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to feather it out all the way around. And this will kind of look like blood spray on my neck. And the one thing you want to do when you're applying the latex over the yarn is you want to make sure you completely cover the yarn. I actually missed a couple spots, so the purple did not cover as well as I would like. But the better your latex covers your yarn, the easier the makeup will apply and the less you'll have to use. So what you're doing is you're just feathering this out, and it's going to give it an effect of, like I said, drippy blood looking. Also gives it some texture and some depth. Do this all the way around. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? I really do. Horror movies are like, I'm a horror movie fan, and I love gore and scary stuff. I blame it on my mom. She turned me on to all that when I was younger. Which is funny, because she doesn't like the gore nearly as much as I do, but she turned me on to horror movies. So now it's really starting to look like a gash in my neck, isn't it? So the final touch, we're pretty much done. The final touch is to add the blood. So, and this is a new blood I just got. But use any kind of theatrical blood. You can get them at most of the Halloween stores. You preferably want to get something that stays wet looking, and it'll say right on the label, stays wet looking. Something that drips really well. So this kind of comes out in a pen. So I'm just going to start where the beginning of the opening is. Just take it all the way through. Well, this is kind of cool. See, this every different kind of blood is different. This isn't very drippy, but it's very wet looking. So what I'm going to do, I'll probably get some more blood before the weekend because I like drippy better than this. But it looks good. So what I'm going to do is put a lot on the wound. Like that. And then I think I'm going to bring some down and just have it. Down like this. Yeah, so just have it. Yeah, I don't particularly like this particular blood I bought. It looks good, but it's not nearly as drippy. So what I will get next time is some more liquid blood that will actually run down the front of my shirt. But you get the idea. And then you just play with it. This actually looks pretty good. It's just a different effect from what I would normally want. This is a good blood for smearing across your body. Actually, it looks really good. So, there you have it. A pretty easy neck wound. Can you get a close-up of that? So, it's a very easy effect. It's very relatively inexpensive. And you pretty much don't have to do anything else. Maybe put on some old clothes. You know, you can do a little bit of ghost makeup to make it look like your face is being drained of blood. And have a happy Halloween. Boo, everybody!